knows everything. But there is no blame on the one who suspects an error or an injustice on the part of the testator and brings about a settlement among the parties. Allah is forgiving and merciful. Meaning someone who suspects an error or injustice, someone who suspects that the person who left a will made a will that is unjust. He's taking from someone who should be getting that wealth. Then a person can change that will, and that's perfectly acceptable, and they will not be punished for that. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O believers, fasting is prescribed for you, as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may become pious. أياما معدودات. Fast the prescribed number of days. Except if any of you is ill or on a journey, then fast a similar number of days later. Here we see the command regarding fasting. This is the only place in the Quran where the fasting of Ramadan is mentioned. And Allah tells us, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Again, taqwa, consciousness of Allah is mentioned. So the purpose of fasting is to develop consciousness of Allah. How are we conscious of Allah when we're fasting? We leave the halal. We don't eat or drink because Allah told us not to eat and drink during the daylight hours. So even if we're on our own, if you're on your own, you're not going to eat and drink. Even if nobody sees you, you're not going to do it. Why? What is it that stops you? Yes. Fear of Allah. You know He's watching. So you're not going to eat or drink even when you're on your own because you know He sees you. So you're conscious of Him. And fasting develops that consciousness of Allah. Develops that carefulness in our actions and our behavior, that even when no one else is there, you're conscious of Him. And this training is supposed to continue after the month of Ramadan. Now you've developed that consciousness of Allah, continue with that consciousness and bring it into the rest of your life as well. But this time use it to stop the haram. In Ramadan you stop the halal. Outside of this month, stop all the things that are haram. And why do we fast? Is there any other reason except for the sake of Allah? We would never leave food and drink for a month for anyone. Nobody would do this for anyone. We only do this for the sake of Allah. And it pushes us beyond what we think we can do. Is this not the case? At the end of Ramadan, you do think, I can't believe I got through a month of not eating and drinking, and I survived, and I'm perfectly fine and healthy, and I made it to Eid Salah as well. I'm not falling down out of starvation or dehydration. So this shows us that we can do more. We have the potential to do more than we think we can. And you'll notice that that's what people encourage a lot now. People will tell you, push yourself more. You have potential to do more than you think you can. And again, this is something that fasting teaches us. Push yourself a little bit more to be even better in what you're doing. For those who cannot endure it, there is a ransom, the feeding of one poor person for each missed day. Whoever does more good than this voluntarily, meaning if someone cannot fast and he's giving the ransom, the fidya, he can give more than just one meal for a day. It is better for him. However, if you truly understand, it is better for you to fast. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. It is a month of Ramadan in which the Quran was revealed. The Quran and Ramadan are linked. It is a month in which Quran was revealed, and it is a month in which Quran is the most recited. هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ, a guidance for mankind. وَبَيِّنَاتٍ مِّنَ الْهُدَى, and it is a guidance for mankind with clear teaching, showing the right way. وَالْفُرْقَانِ, and a criterion. Therefore, any one of you who witnesses that month should fast therein. And whoever is ill or on a journey shall fast a similar number of days later on. Allah intends your well-being and does not want to put you to hardship. وَلِتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةَ, and He wants you to complete the prescribed period. وَلِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ, and so that you should glorify His greatness. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, and render thanks to Him for giving you guidance. So Allah wants us to glorify His greatness and give thanks for the guidance. For which guidance? Specifically for the Quran, for the Prophet ﷺ, and even being guided to fast and develop that consciousness of Allah. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ, and when my servants question you about me, tell them that I am very close to them. Ramadan is also the month of dua. The Prophet ﷺ said in hadith, دَعْوَةُ الصَّائِمِ لَا تُرَدْ, the dua of the fasting person is not going to be rejected. So the month is a month of dua. And all the time, particularly at the time when we open our fast, at the iftar time, at suhoor in the early morning when we awake, after salah, after prayer, all the time, during the day when we are fasting, all of these are times when we should be making dua to Allah. Which is why you see that the ayat regarding dua come immediately after the mention of Ramadan. But Allah tells us, I answer the prayer of every suppliant when he calls upon me. Therefore, Allah tells us, فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي, they should respond to me, وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي, and believe in me, لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ, so that they may be rightly guided. What is the criteria? You should believe in me and respond to me. Meaning when I give the commands, when I send the guidance, you respond to it and all of your du'as will be accepted. This is such an ayah of hope. Because have you noticed that shaitan whispers constantly, dua is not going to be answered. You might as well go ahead and make it. There's no harm in making it, but it's not for sure that it's going to be answered. And this is just a whisper and a trick of shaitan. This ayah tells us clearly that inni qareeb, I am close. I answer the dua of the one who calls upon me.